every soul. Hey, you're the light in my deepest, darkest hours. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think that I care for you when you know deep down inside I really do. Y'all probably don't know that song. If you don't, I'm going to tell you what that song is. It's called How Deep Is Your Love? How Deep Is Your Love by PJ Morton and Yeba. And that's the song that is coming through right now as a channel. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? Very important information for right now. Listen, today, as quickly as I can and as powerfully as I can, we are going to be diving into the Virgo full moon energy. The Virgo full moon is actually happening tonight on into tomorrow morning. Okay, it is the Virgo full moon. And why this full moon is such a gift is because it's the last full moon before we enter the new year. It's the last full moon before we enter the spring season. It's the last full moon before we transition out of this space of releasing, purging, fasting, cleansing. We move out of that into our creative energy. Okay. We move out of the hibernation. We move out of the isolation. We move out of that darkness, that shadow work energy, that subconscious mind energy. We move out of that and on into our more conscious mind energy, into our light energy, into our spring energy, into our manifestation energy. That's the energy that we are moving into. And so this is the last full moon of the winter. And so we want to take a moment to honor that, celebrate that, and understand what it means spiritually. Okay. So the words that were channeled to me were celebration and initiation. This last full moon of the winter season before we enter into the new year is symbolic of celebration and initiation. And I'm going to tell you what we are celebrating, and I'm going to tell you what these initiations are, what we're being initiated into, what we are celebrating, and how we can use this full moon energy for our power, for our upliftment, and for our greatness. Okay. That's what we are about to dive into right now. Peace and love to everyone who is in the room. Hey, hello. I know I never go live at this time, right? This nighttime, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I never go live at this time because, we got kids that are always active and busy and family and all of that stuff right now. But I'm excited to be here right now. So shout out to all of y'all that are here. Hey, hello. Glad to have y'all here. Glad to spend this time with y'all on this full moon in Virgo. Juicy, juicy, juicy. All righty. So what are we celebrating, right? Because there's always a celebration before an initiation. There's always this whenever you're going through an initiation process, there's always like a ritual that takes place to get started, right? There's always like this, okay, we're starting this new journey. We're entering into this new realm. We're entering into this new level. And so there's always a celebration. Think about it when people get married, right? You always have your bridal shower or your bachelor party, your bachelorette party. It's a celebration. Before a baby is born, we always have a baby shower. It's a celebration. Okay. It's a celebration that takes place before the initiation, right? Before you are going through a new process, embarking on a new journey, and starting a new beginning. Okay. So what are we celebrating right now for this full moon? And I need y'all to do this. I need you to do this because you have to honor yourself. You have to take a moment and truly, deeply, spiritually, physically, emotionally, you have to take a moment to honor yourself. You have to take a moment to appreciate coming through this winter season and the work that you have done. Okay. You never want to ignore or minimize all that you've had to do to get to who you are today. Okay. And so in the winter season, if you've been doing your work, today is the day to celebrate that. This full moon energy, 3 days before, 3 days after, is the time for you to reflect. And I want you to write a love letter to yourself. I want you to write a love letter to yourself, simply honoring and appreciating the work that you have done to get to where you are right now. Coming through that darkness, coming through that shadow work that we've all been doing. So I asked you all this question right now, and I want you to let me know in the chat, okay? I want you to let me know in the chat. What is something that you have released, embodied, embraced during this winter season that is worthy of your celebration? What is something that you have released, embodied, or embraced that is worthy of celebration? I want you to really take a moment, ask yourself that question, be intimate with yourself, and really honor that. For me, in this winter season, I was able to shed some of these false beliefs and perceptions that I had about myself that were not in alignment with my goals. I was able to tap into this understanding and this conviction that I'm just going to show up powerfully and intuitively. Matter of fact, an affirmation that sums up the work that I've done this winter season, I want to share with y'all. The affirmation for me that sums up my winter season and that sets me up for a great spring, I want to share this affirmation with y'all. And when I share it, I want to know if it makes you feel some type of way, like it makes me feel some type of way. Very simple affirmation. And it is, I give myself permission to be all that I can be. Let me get somebody to put that in the chat. I give myself permission to be all that I can be. That's been the work that I've been doing this winter season. And that's worthy of celebration because there are so many masks, there's so many false narratives, there's so many different faces that I've worn in the past that I've been able to release in this winter season. And so that affirmation, I give myself permission to be all that I can be, is just like, it just sums up the work that I've done. Okay. And so today, whether you write the letter or not, that's up to you. But today, I just want you to take a moment and to be very intimate with you. Because when we have a full moon, this means things are fully visible. This means you can see everything. This means that you can recognize and embrace the manifestations of your work. And in the winter season, it's all about self-work. It's all about releasing. It's all about that hermit mode. And so this has been a very internal time. And now it's time to come out of the cave, come out of the darkness, you know what I mean? Better, renewed, powerful, impactful, light, and bright. Okay? Roku Vader says, release gluttony, cannabis, and I have gained control of my emotions. Allow myself to release all that isn't one with my divinity. Give myself permission to be all that I can be. Absolutely beautiful. See, all of that you just put there in the comments is worth honoring. It's worth taking a moment and reflecting on the difference between who you are right now and who you were at that winter solstice. Now, if you feel like you are the same exact person that you were then at that winter solstice today, then what that means, family, is that you need accountability. You need to focus. You need to tap deeper into your desire for healing, for growth, for transformation, and for manifestation. If you haven't been putting in the work, releasing some shit, I don't know where you have been. Probably disconnected from yourself, disconnected from your spirit team, disconnected from your ancestors, disconnected from the signs and synchronicities that have been taking place that are letting you know what it is that you should be doing in this season. Okay. So this Virgo full moon is first and foremost an opportunity to celebrate all that you've released, because you can see yourself clearly now. Under that full moon light, you have to understand what the full moon represents. That means full visibility, no darkness, no shadow aspects are shown when we are observing the full moon. Okay? So this is worthy of your celebration, seeing how you've balanced and integrated both sides of yourself. Because in the winter season, the shadow work, you're more supported in your shadow work during the winter because it's a shadow time. It's a downtime. Do we understand that? Okay. Yes, and I'm feeling good. I love that. I love that. Ooh, that makes me think about Nina Simone's other song called Here Comes the Sun. And every single time spring season comes around, I play that song as a ritual. I received that ritual years ago from Tiffany Powers, also known as Tiffany Messenger. Years ago, she made a video talking about how when that spring, I believe she was talking about the spring, but I've always used it in the spring, where she talked about when that sun starts to coming back out, you can start getting into those channels and making those connections. And Nina Simone was a powerful person who she was tapping into at that time. And then when I tapped into it, absolutely, it was validated that energy was powerful. Here comes the sun. Okay, here comes the sun. So we're celebrating all of that work. Some of y'all are not going to put in there what you released, probably because you're not clear on what you've released yet. But I want you to get clear on that. I want you to spend time with that. I want you to honor that. I want you to honor yourself. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, good job. You did that. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Now it's time to shine. Okay. Now it's time to shine. Now it's time to be seen. Now it's time to be heard. There's no more being in the closet. There's no more being in the cave. There's no more staying in the darkness. There's no more time to be depressed and anxious and sad and all of those things. The winter season was your time to do all of that and to start purging that. So in the spring season, you can show up as boldly and as beautifully and as brightly and as brilliantly as you were meant to. So the affirmation, thank you so much, Pleasant Powell, for putting that in the chat. The affirmation is, I give myself permission to be all that I can be. I just want y'all to sit with that, feel into that. I give myself permission to be all that I can be. Because it's those shadow aspects that our winter season was showing us and revealing to us that keeps us from showing up as the fullness of our beings, because we reject that aspect of ourselves. Okay? We reject the parts of us who seek validation. We reject the parts of us who wants to be seen, who wants to be appreciated, who wants to be loved, who wants to be honored, who wants to be paid for their greatness. We reject these shadow aspects, and because we reject it, it blocks us and stops us from being all that we can be. And so during this winter season, you are supposed to be doing the work to balance out your light, your dark, bring them together beautifully and love the fullness of who you are. because you are all those things, right? You're all those things. So just like you seek approval, you've already received approval because you're both of those things. Just like you may have realized that you are a procrastinator. Well, on the opposite side of that, you are a person that gets things done in a timely manner when you're meant to do them. So you're both of those things, okay? But when you reject that one aspect out of fear, out of judgment, or out of a lack of self-awareness, when you judge those things, you don't allow yourself, you don't give yourself the permission to be all that you can be and to be all that you were meant to be. Because what it says is that you don't recognize the power and the blessing of those shadow aspects. You don't recognize the gift yet in that energy. Okay. And if you don't recognize the gift of your shadow self, you don't want to embrace it. You don't want to make that a part of your being. You want to continue to deny it, even though it's already you. So right when we embrace it, now this load comes off of our shoulders and we're able to be who we really are, who we fully are, which is both light and dark. And so today, on this Virgo full moon, I encourage you to just love on you and congratulate yourself for integrating those shadow aspects, for recognizing them, for seeing them, and still loving you and still honoring you. That's what I want you to do. Let me take a moment to say hey to y'all. Peace, Lexi, Dream. What's up, Naturally Natured? What's up, Roku? What's up, Pleasant Pal, Shea Butter, Iman? Hey, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know some of the energy that I'm picking up on for this Virgo full moon, because it's so beautiful. And it's the last full moon of the winter season, which means it's the last full moon before the official new year. So we want to take a moment to celebrate the shadow work that we've done. We want to take a moment to celebrate some of those energies that we've released and let go of and surrendered and integrated. We want to take a moment to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I give myself permission to be all that I can be. Such a powerful affirmation, okay? Write it down and make sure that you speak those words over yourself. Give yourself the permission to do that. You want to know why we don't give ourselves permission to be all that we can be? We don't give ourselves the permission to be all that we can be because there's this unconscious or subconscious unworthiness because of the things that may have taken place in childhood, right? The conditions of childhood, the trauma of young adulthood. And so we like subconsciously and unconsciously tell ourselves, no, you can't have that. No, you can't be that. That can't be your life. That can't be your manifestations. You can't manifest love. You can't have all of that abundance. You can't have that powerful business. Remember, you did this. Remember, this is who you are. You know, a procrastinator, untimely, unloved, unloving, needing validation, addicted, toxic. You're all of those things, remember, so you can't have the goodness of life. You can't be all that you can be because you're all of those things. It's time to give yourself permission to be all that you can be. And being all that you can be, family, means accepting those dark side shadow aspects and being able to recognize the power within them. Okay? One of the things is so funny. One of the things that I am one of the things that I'm also embracing, I've been talking to y'all about this because I love to just tell y'all the truth. My truth, right? I want y'all to know my truth so that y'all know like this is real shit. So, before I tell y'all my stuff in the chat, y'all let me know what, let me know some of the things you've released. Maybe it's an idea, maybe it's a belief that you've released or integrated with yourself in this winter season. I want to hear from you. I want to celebrate you, right? We already said congratulations to Roku who has released gluttony. Oh my God, that is such a beautiful thing. And I'm sure that you've been able to identify something powerful within that. Something that I've embraced about myself that I was fighting this. I was fighting this because I was like, I gotta be deep. I was like, my conscious mind or my ego, based off of my childhood experiences, it really made me to be somebody who had to grow up fast. Ooh, Lauren, come on, girl. Girl. Ooh. Lauren, are you a part of the Patreon, Lauren Camille? Man, because we was just talking about that energy. Girl, you are, man, I'm telling you. I had to tell myself that too. Like, wow, man, it's deep. Lauren, congratulations on making peace with that and embracing that and allowing yourself to be the fullness of who you are. And now you can integrate it. Lauren, I don't know why you're not a Patreon member. We were just talking about that liar energy and the impact of it. And the reason why you saying that is so important. This is just, I'm telling you how spirit works. Our daughter, Hope Dream doesn't mind me sharing this story. Our daughter, and she's 5. She's 5, so she's at that age where she's testing the waters. The other day, I had asked her a question. I had asked her a question about Dream and I had asked her, like, whose mommy is this and whose mommy is that? Like, I was asking, which one of your grandmothers does this? And she pointed. She was okay. Let me slow down. So Dream and I are sitting in front of Kara, and I asked her a question. I says, "Who mommy says this?" I say, "Whose mommy says this?" And she points to me. But I wasn't the one, right? I wasn't the correct answer. Dream was actually the correct answer. And she tries to correct what she said. She tries to come up with a reason, or she tries to say, "Oh no, that's not what I meant." And when that happened, I felt something inside of me. It didn't last long, but I felt something inside of me. And I was like, I need to look at that energy within myself. Because in the past, when have I told a non-truth or something slightly skewed from the truth to look a certain way, or to not feel bad about myself, or to not feel like I got the wrong answer? Because that's all she was doing. She changed her answer, right? Which was incorrect, but it's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal at all. But she changed her answer for a reason. Maybe getting the right answer made her feel safe, even though her initial answer was wrong. So she's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to say something else because that's what's going to make me feel safer. That's what's going to make me feel valuable or whatever. But I had to ask myself, when have I done things like that in order to feel safe in a given situation? It could be as simple as my mom calling me. Hey, Desiree, did you do this? Hey, oh, yeah, I did it. I did it. Yeah, I did it. Knowing damn well I probably didn't do it because I probably was busy. I probably was consumed with other things, but I'm telling her that I did it so that she doesn't get antsy or frustrated or whatever. So that's a part of the shadow work. That's a part of the integration. Understanding those qualities about ourselves and not rejecting it or denying it or being frustrated about it. But when we are honest about that, it helps us to show up better. Iman, I don't know why you taking stuff out of my mouth. Okay, I don't know why you're taking stuff out of my mouth, because before I was inspired by Lauren, I was about to say one of the things I had to accept was I don't want to be deep all the time. Like sometimes I just don't want to be deep. Like it doesn't have to be deep. And I literally have to work on this, especially like when it comes to like social media and things like that, or even YouTube. Like, how can I laugh more on these things? How can I talk more shit on these things? How can it not be so serious? But I was conditioned that way because I was the only girl of 4 brothers and I had to grow up fast. So I was conditioned to always be serious. So that shadow aspect of me is like, girl, listen, I like to watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac, and I really enjoy Married at First Sight and all of these relationship shows. And I really like watching those things and not giving it a spiritual meaning. Like Dream Wise asked after we watch a movie, yeah, babe, so what does that movie mean to you? I'm like, that movie don't mean a damn thing to me, okay? I'm like, that movie don't mean nothing to me. I don't want to talk about what that movie meant and what the spiritual decode is. Babe, I'm not calling you out, but I'm just saying how I be feeling. I'm like, no, I just want to I just want to chill. I just want to chill. I just want to relax. I want to laugh. I had to admit that to myself and be okay with that. Like, I'm not watching every show or movie looking for the spiritual codes. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. Even though Dreamwise doesn't do that. Okay, let me make that clear. He doesn't watch a movie and be like, ooh, what's going to happen spiritual? That's not how he watches movies at all. He just picks the shit up. It's a part of his gifts. But he turns around and he asks me, what you saw in the movie? I'm like, I don't want to talk about what I saw in that movie. You just tell me what you saw, okay? And then when we decide to talk about it on Friday, I'm sure all of my downloads and channels will come through. But otherwise, I'm just chilling on it, okay? I'm just chilling on it, okay? So I love that. We're on the same page with that, Iman. I don't have to be deep, woke, anything like that. Like, we can shoot the breeze. There's a lot. I mean, we are such dynamic people. Such dynamic people. Okay? And there are more things that I enjoy indulging in that is not conscious community spiritually based. Like, it's just not. And so these are aspects that for me, I've been integrating. So like, I don't feel no type of way when Dream come in the house and he like, damn, you watching The Real Housewives? Yep, I sure am. I'm not too spiritual to watch The Real Housewives, okay? Damn, you watching another cooking show? Yep, watching them cook all of this meat that I don't even eat, but I like to look at it, just, I guess, fantasize about what it may taste like. I like that. Okay. So we got to embrace these things and we have to celebrate the work that we've done thus far. We have to celebrate the work that we've done thus far. And we have to honor the fullness of our being. Okay. Because when we honor the fullness of our being, guess what we do? We give ourselves permission to be all that we can be. All right. So that's the celebration aspect. Let's really quickly talk about the initiation aspect of this full moon. I'm so glad about it. So glad about it. All right. There are 3 things. Okay. There are 3 things that I want y'all to understand are going to be a part of the initiation process as we're going into this spring season. The very first thing is food. Have y'all been considering and being very thoughtful about what you're eating? Let me know if I'm the only one. Because for the past month or so, ever since I did that juice cleanse, I've been very conscious about what I'm eating. And I feel like, and what I know is that this is an initiation into a higher state of being. Now, I'm not saying I don't call myself a vegan because I just don't think that I'm a vegan. Or even, plant-based or anything like that. But I am asking myself questions like, how is this food going to make me feel? Is it going to add value to me, or is it going to take away from me? That's what I've been asking myself before I eat any food. Okay. Or before I choose what we're eating for the week, I'm looking at what I want to cook and I'm really asking, is this food in alignment with my healing, with my growth, with my expansion, with my mental acuity, with my energy, with my power? I'm asking myself those questions and I'm disciplining myself to eat the foods that add value to me. That is a major initiation that is happening. And I'll tell you why. On a human level, it has to do with food shortages happening, toxic food happening, and just the chaos that is happening surround food itself. Food being more expensive due to inflation, all of those things like that. And so a part of the sacrifice is not overindulging, overspending, being gluttonous, eating things that do not serve your highest good. Because most of the time when we're eating those things, we're not dealing with that shadow self, that hurt, that pain, that disappointment, right? That fear. We're not dealing with that, and we're using food to cope. So the initiation of food is so that you can rely on your internal resources, so that you can rely on your optimism, so that you can rely on your hope, your faith, your knowing, your mind, your affirmations for your upliftment. Okay? Paying attention to what you are eating, paying attention to what you are putting in your body, and not just unconsciously eating. A part of the initiation going into this spring is really asking yourself, how can I honor myself through food? This doesn't mean that you have to be vegan or eat only plants. This means that if you go out to eat, you don't pick like the cheapest thing or anything like that, but you pick something that you feel connected to. You pick something that you feel like is going to nourish you. You pick something that you feel is going to be enjoyable to your palate, but also to your being. You pick something that is an experience. We have an initiation through food happening. Okay. And what it's about is, like I said, giving yourself permission to be the best you that you can be. And sometimes the blockage to you being the best you that you can be is the food that you're eating is slowing you down. Now, you can try to say the mind is all, the universe is mental, all you want to, but subconsciously, you probably don't really believe that. Subconsciously, some of you probably don't really believe that. I used to be thinking that, oh, the mind is all, the universe is mental, I can eat whatever I want to eat. And then things would be happening in my body. And I'm like, I'm not liking that. I'm not liking this feeling. I'm not liking this bloating. I'm not liking this constipation. I'm not liking this lack of energy. And so that to me says, sis, stop playing yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Eating good food is imperative to your being. And that is what your subconscious mind is actually communicating to you. And after I did that juice fast, I've been able to maintain some beautiful eating habits, y'all. And it has absolutely powered me up. I have so much more energy than I had before that juice fast. Okay? So much more energy. Things are getting regulated. Things are feeling good. I did a dreaming. I've been going to the gym. I've been getting it in. I feel stronger. I feel better in my physical body, but it makes me feel better spiritually as well, because everything is connected, as within, so without, as above, so below. So as I'm being intentional about my body, there's a mental, emotional, spiritual correspondence that takes place. Don't play yourself. Don't lie to yourself and say, "Oh, I can eat whatever I want to eat and still be fine." For some of you, that may absolutely be true. I had an old college homegirl named Tiffany. We played volleyball together. Tiffany. This girl could literally, she ate the most on the entire team. She ate the most food, but her stomach always stays super flat. Like, girl, and her body is still like that. So that was something that was ingrained in her from like childhood. That's metabolism, family, bloodline, whatever. But she was always able to eat anything and stay absolutely slim. Okay? Not all of us have that genealogy. Okay? So, food right now is going to be a major initiation in asking yourself, what changes can I make to align more powerfully with my overall well-being? Okay. Sis, you say you've been seeing 333. It's funny that you say that. I just did a quick little reel. I did a quick reel on Instagram today that you probably want to go look at. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle, you can see it at the bottom of this video, is DRay_the healing coach. No funny characters. There's only one underscore. Healing is spelled correct and all of that stuff like that. DRay the healing coach. Go over there. I just did a video. But for me, sis, when I see 333, that says to me that my understanding on whatever spiritual concept I'm dealing with is actually coming to pass, and I'm having real life experience with it. Okay? I'm having real life experience with it. 333. 3 symbolizes understanding. So knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And so that's what 333 symbolizes to me. It's completion. It's the spiritual work that I've been doing, the spiritual wisdom that I've been tapping into. It's showing up in my physical reality. So I would encourage you to look at the ways in which you've been able to exercise the spiritual wisdom, the spiritual knowledge that you've been receiving. How is it actually showing up in your physical reality? Okay. I would encourage you to look at that, reflect on that, and see how that works for you. Because I love it. I love it. When I see 333, I'm like, okay, spirit, yes, I'm getting it. The manifestation is coming to pass. Things are happening in my reality. The spiritual work that I'm doing is manifesting for me. All right. So first initiation is food. Please, 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 family, choose one thing when it comes down to your eating regimen that you are going to cleanse or that you are going to add into your life. So for me, every morning I've been drinking lemon water and cayenne pepper every morning. It does not matter. Every morning I'm getting up and drinking that. You've probably seen me drinking it on Dreams and Desires on Friday mornings, okay? But every morning I'm drinking that. I've decided to add that into my lifestyle, add that into my regimen. And actually, it was a healthy replacement for coffee, which I decided to let go of maybe some months. Maybe it's been like 2 months of no coffee. It's pretty amazing, right? So add something into your regimen or take something out of your regimen. Okay? Some of you need to let go of sugar. Okay? Because spiritually, what's happening is that you're getting this false high, this false sense of comfort, this false sense of joy, this false sense of goodness, which blocks you from actually doing the work to have real wholeness, happiness, and joy within your being. Okay? So when it comes down to your food, I encourage you to let go of something or to add something. We are going into this spring season, so there's still spring cleaning that needs to be done. Spring cleaning within your body, spring cleaning within your home, spring cleaning within your relationship, spring cleaning within your phone. Oh my God, there's so many pictures and stuff I have to delete so that I can go into this spring season with energy. Okay, got to do that. All right, got to do that. So food, the next initiation for this spring season is fuel. Oh my goodness, family. I want you to use this full moon, this final full moon energy of this winter season before we officially go into the new year. I want you to ask yourself, what fuels me? What feels great for me to do? What am I meant to do? What is my driving force? Y'all, this is so very important. I don't know if y'all have watched it already. I dropped episode 1 of the Sacred Sister Circle podcast. Hopefully y'all have watched it. The next episode is going to be coming out Wednesday night. Okay. This Wednesday night, you'll be seeing episode number 2. But as I was recording that Sacred Sister Circle podcast with my girl Phyla, and the episode was, What is a Sacred Queen? As I was feeling that, y'all, as we were filming it, when I tell y'all it felt so damn good, I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh spirit, this is what I'm supposed to be doing too? I was like, wow. I was blown away by the ease, the flow, the love, the enjoyment that I got from having that conversation, which is also why I'm super excited about the Sacred Sister Circle. For those of you who do not know, starting on Wednesday, you're going to be able to join the Sacred Sister Circle. The Sacred Sister Circle is that, but it's that type of conversation, but with more sisters having it at one time. It's not just me and another person. It's about 15 of us at one time having that conversation. Okay. And so, oh my God, I remembered in that moment why I do what I do. I remembered in that moment why the Sacred Sister Circle is so important. I remembered in that moment what actually fuels me. It's the conversations. Like, these live streams are fun and I'm talking to y'all, but you physically being here and me being able to hear your voice and us bounce ideas off of each other, that fuels me. That encourages me. That uplifts me. And so one of the initiations for this spring season, family, is that you have to fully realize what fuels you. And let me tell you something. Your fuel, it needs to be something that is that serves you. Okay. Now I know y'all like, what? That serves you? The Sacred Sister Circle and these podcasts, it serves everybody. It absolutely does. But the Sacred Sister Circle was a prayer that I had, right? The Sacred Sister Circle podcast was the answer to a question that I had. So what we have to understand is, when you do the things that fuel you, this is when your cup runneth over. 717, that's my time, y'all. That's one of my synchronicities as well. So your cup runs over, family, when you are fueled, when you are nourished, and when you pour into yourself in the divine ways that you're meant to. And let me tell you, everything is not like doing the Sacred Sister Circle podcast. It took work. It took me reaching out to people and saying, hey, I want to sit down and talk with you and us have a conversation. Starting the Sacred Sister Circle, it takes putting myself out there, making the offer, creating the page, letting people know the value. Like, it takes work. So don't think that your fuel is just going to be like, oh, it's just so easy and all of that. It can be easy. It can be easy, but everything takes some work. Everything takes some effort. There's something that you all are meant to do that really fuels your being, but you are afraid of the uncomfortable moments. Okay? You're afraid of the uncomfortable moments. When it came to the Sacred Sister Circle podcast, I had to figure all of that stuff out. Like, okay, What platform are we going to talk on? How do I upload this to Apple Podcasts? When am I going to drop it? How am I going to ask these questions? What is going to be it takes that, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So you are being initiated right now to do things that uplift, empower, encourage you. And I want you to know that it feels good to do stuff for yourself. It feels good to love on yourself. It feels good to lean into that internal fire, that internal joy, wholeness, happiness, peace, and pleasure. And so right now, this Virgo full moon is like, okay, let's figure out what that thing is, and let's not restrict ourselves from going after it. Some of you, and this is going to be the last thing I'm going to leave y'all with right now. You have to realize what subconscious beliefs and programs are holding you back from fully surrendering to that fuel, into that sacredness, into that power, and into that purpose. And then you have to use the strength, the willpower, the discipline of the Virgo to move forward in that thing. Virgos are some of the most disciplined people we know. It's the most disciplined energy damn near in the zodiac. The most focused, the most deliberate, the most, nonstop, I'm going forward energy. And so this winter season really was serving as an opportunity for you to see those subconscious mind beliefs, blockages, fears, shadow aspects, so that you can integrate it into your being, be okay with it, accept it, recognize the gift of it, because there's always a gift in it. There's always a gift in it. There's always a gift in it. There's always some light in your darkness. There's always a gift that is being given to you when you accept some of those qualities about yourself that society has said is wrong, bad, not good, all the conditioning of childhood. There's always a gift in that. And so when you accept that gift, now you give yourself permission to be all that you can be. Okay? So I leave you with this. Celebrate yourself tonight. Look yourself in the mirror, write yourself a love letter, dance, kick your feet up, make love, do something, okay? Do something tonight that celebrates the work that you've done in this winter season. This is the last full moon of the winter season. The next full moon, we will be in the official new year in spring. And it's worthy of celebrating. You are worthy of celebrating all of that work. So please do that. Do that for yourself. Because what that's going to do is going to inspire you. It's going to get you moving. It's going to get you encouraged. You like, let's go. I've already done a lot of work. Now I'm going to let my light shine. And then I want you to embrace the initiation, your food, family, not just your physical food that you're putting in your mouth, but what are you feeding yourself energetically? What are you feeding yourself mentally? What are you feeding yourself spiritually? Okay. What are you feeding yourself? What are you nourishing yourself with? How are you feeling your cup? That's very important right now. And then lastly, you have to find your fuel. You have to find your gas, baby. And you got to fill yourself up and hit the ground running. Okay. What's fueling you? Find what you enjoy. Find what brings you pleasure. Find what lights you up and invest in it. Do it more. Do it often. Okay. The more you do these things, the easier your manifestations are going to come. Okay. The more you feed yourself things that are in alignment with your goal, the more you allow yourself to be fueled up, to be cared for, to be nurtured, the faster your goals are going to manifest. All right. Last thing I want to say before I get off of here is, if you are not a part of Patreon, I don't know where you are. It's only $8 a month. And right now we are in our 21-day transformational manifestation intensive. So what we're talking about right now, we're going deeper into it on the Patreon, and it's just been a beautiful conversation. So I invite you to join us there. And then lastly, for all of my ladies, yes, this Thursday, March 9th, we are going to have the Sacred Sister Circle open house. I need all of my ladies who are already Sacred Sister Circle members. I need y'all in the building. And then the ladies who have been thinking about it, if you're like, I would love to have a group of women who I can be my authentic self with, utilize my purpose, heal with, all of that good stuff. If you have been looking for real companionship, whether you've been lying to yourself about it or not, because at one point in my life, I lied and said I didn't need it, but I was really craving it. Okay. If you need accountability, right? You stop yourself, you block yourself, all of those things. The Sacred Sister Circle is for you. If you're looking for empowerment, upliftment, encouragement, the Sacred Sister Circle is for you. So I just encourage you to come and try it on. Okay. The best way to know if something is for you is to try it on. And so this Thursday, we are going to have a Sacred Sister Circle meeting where I'm going to host it the same way I lead our sessions when we are getting started. I want you to feel it out. I want you to see if you like it. You'll be there with some of the ladies who are already in the group. So that's going to happen on Thursday, March 9th, 7 p.m. I don't know if let's say 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe I said. If not, check your emails. You'll be receiving an email from it from me or DreamWise. All right. I love you all. I appreciate you. And y'all enjoy y'all's night. Celebrate yourself tonight. Okay. Peace.